Hello everyone, this is Abhishek from Art Science classes. So in this video, I have selected some of the questions from previous year GATE questions and JAM questions. The questions are basically based on stereographic projection from structural geology. The questions they are been asked about the folds, about the bedding planes, about fault planes, right? So I have selected from GATE and JAM papers. There are many questions are also asked in NET exams. I will do a separate video for the NET questions. So in this video I have not included NET questions. I will do the next video I will upload on NET questions, so you can watch that later. Okay, so here I will solve the question and what are the concept behind that question, how you can solve that question by yourself. Okay, don't try to memorize the answer, just see how I am solving so that you can approach that way and the question will be easier for you. Okay, so the first question, it is from JAM 2015. Here it is asked that in the given stereo plot, two poles to three bedding planes are plotted, right? Here poles to bedding planes are plotted. So what are poles? Poles are generally the perpendiculars, right? Here it is a plane and the perpendicular to it is the pole, right? When this perpendicular, right? So when we'll plot the plane, in the stereo net, it will be, sorry for the diagram, so it's not a circle. So when you plot a stereo net, it is approximately a circle. So let it be a stereo net. So here it is the plane, right? When we plot the plane, it will be a great circle, right? When we plot a plane, the attitude of the plane is given, then we have to plot it. So this will be a great circle. But if we want to plot the perpendicular, what we will do? If this is the center, here it is the east-west line, right? Here it is the east-west line, right? So let's say the plane is striking north-south, right? It is north and south. So this is the plane, and this is a plane which is striking north-south, This is the strike. This is the strike of the plane. North-south is the strike, and it is the plane. What is the deep? This is the deep amount. Okay. So this length in east-west line we are measuring for the deep. So if you want to plot the pole of this plane, what you have to do? You have to take 90 from here. Okay. In stereo net there are grid circles at there are lighter ones and darker ones also. Lighter grid circles are around 2 degree apart, and the darker grid circles, they are around 10 degree apart, right? So you have to take 90 degree measurement, right? So here you will get a point, So this point is known as pole. This point will be pole of this plane. So if this is a plane, the pole will be here, right? So before going to solve this question, let's see the second question. The second question is based on planes. Okay, the second question here, it is based on planes. Once you will understand how to plot planes and how the grid circles, they are getting closer or they are getting nearer to the outer circle, whether they are horizontal or vertical. Okay, So if you know that first, then we'll come to poles. Okay, so let's solve the second question first, then we'll come to the first question. So here you can see, here a bedding plane is here it is a stereo plot, right? Here it is a stereo plot. There are many great circles, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. Okay, so these are great circles and there is a line here 3. So what is the question? There is a bed X. There is a bed X. So X is the bed. Here the symbol is representing a type of bed, right? So this is a map symbol. This symbol is a map symbol of vertical bed. This symbol represents a vertical bed. Vertical bed means what? Deep is 90 degrees, right? If the bed will be, you can see in maps, in maps you can see that there are this symbol. That means what? There is a inclined bed. This is the symbol of an inclined bed. How do you know this is inclined? The long line is the strike. This line is the strike, right? This line is the strike, and this is the tip direction. This is the tip direction, right? It can be either this. It can be either this side or this side. It can be either easterly dipping or westerly dipping, right? So the long line represents the strike direction and it is representing the tip direction. It is inclined bed, right? When it will be like this, when it will be like this, that means it's like plus, right? So this is a vertical bed. This is a vertical bed. If there will be like this, if there will be a circle, outer circle, if there will be a outer circle, this represents a horizontal bed. This represents a horizontal bed, right? So these are the map symbols used for different beds. Okay, if it will be like this, it is inclined in a single direction. If it is like a plus, so that is a vertical bed, or if there is a outer circle, then there is a horizontal bed. So here X is a vertical bed, and it is asked that which of the following grid circles 1, 2, 3, 4 that will be representing this X. Okay, so when the plane will be vertical, where we are going to plot this vertical plane. Okay, so let me go to the stereo net again. This is the stereo net. Okay, the outer circle is horizontal. Outer circle is horizontal. Horizontal means what? It is representing a plane. It is representing a plane which is having dip 0 degree. Which is having a dip 0 degree, right? If we see there is a line like this, we see there is a line like this. This is a straight line, though it is not straight because of my writing, but it is assume it is a straight line, right? This is a straight line. So this is representing a vertical plane. This is representing a vertical plane. Okay, you can see stereographic projection videos. Okay, so you can understand that the outer circle is horizontal. Okay, and the straight line which is passing through the center, straight line which is passing through the center is a vertical plane. So vertical plane means what? Dip is 90 degree. Dip is 90 degree. So the outer circle is 0 degree, and this straight line passing through the center is the vertical line, vertical plane, or dipping 90 degree. So if I will plot a plane like this and a plane like this, there are two planes, right? This is P1, this is P2. Okay, this is your PH, that means horizontal plane. This is PV, that is vertical plane, right? So here there is another one, P1 and P2. There are two planes, P1 and P2. So which one will be steeper? P1 will be steeper or P2 will be steeper? If it is 0 degree, PH is having a dip of 0 degree, PV is having a dip of 90 degree. So as we move from outer circle to center, the dip is increasing. As we move from here to here, the dip is increasing. The dip is increasing in this direction. This is 0 and this is 90. So this is gentle. This is having a gentle dip as compared to P2. P1 is having lesser dip as compared to P2, right? Del P2 is greater than del P1. Dip of plane 2 is greater than dip of plane 1. Okay, why? Because P1 is closer to the outer circle. Why dip of P2 is greater? Because it is closer to the center. It is closer to the center. As the plane will be closer to center, it will be steeper. As it will be closer to the outer circle, it is gentler. Okay. So I hope you got answer of this question, because the X is a vertical plane, so it should pass through the center. It should pass through the center. It should pass through the center. So this is the T, this line which is passing through the center, it will represent the bed X, right? So as I told, then after this question we will solve the first question. So here you can see I have told in the previous case that the gentler plane will be closer to the outer circle and the steeper plane they will be closer to the inner circle. They will be closer to the center. The steeper plane will be closer to the center. But in the first question here, these are not planes, these are poles to bedding planes, right? These are not planes, these are poles to bedding planes. So you can see I have told if this is a plane, the pole will be here 90 degree to the plane. The pole will be 90 degree to the plane. So let me check whether okay, I'll take another example here. This is the center. So if a circle is if a great circle is like this, that means what? Dip is lower. If a great circle is like this, that means closer to the outer circle. If the great circle is closer to the outer circle, then it is gentle. Then it is gentle, right? So let's say this is P1. Let's say this is a bed B1. This is a plane P1 or bed B1, whatever. So the pole will be measure 90 degree from here. So it will be right here. So let me take it B1 and the pole will be P1, right? So I have to take how much? 90 degree, right? This is the pole. If the plane is nearer to the outer circle, the pole will be close to the center. Why? If the plane is having a dip of 0 degree, the perpendicular will be, or the pole will be equal to 90 degree. If it is horizontal, the perpendicular will be vertical, right? If the plane is horizontal, plane will be vertical. If the plane is little bit dipping, like if it is if it is gentle, then the pole is also, this is the horizontal, this is the horizontal, right? This is the horizontal. So if the plane is dipping gently, then the bed is the pole is also what? Closer to 90 degree. The plane is closer to 90 degree. It is case of P1. sorry, it is B1 and it is P1, right? It is closer to 90 degree. If I'll plot another plate like this is the vertical, this is the horizontal, right? If I'll plot another plane, this is B2, that means the bed will be like this. Okay, if I'll plot another bed like this, so this is your B2. The bed is, the great circle is closer to the center. The great circle is closer to the center. So deep is higher. That means it is steep. It is steep. Okay. So the normal to the plane will be, normal to the plane will be this one. This is P2. I will take 90 degree from here. I will take 90 degree from here. So this is P2. This point is P2. This is P1. This is P2. So when the bed is steeper, you can see when the bed is steeper, the pole will be closer to the horizontal. The pole will be closer to the horizontal or closer to the outer circle. Okay, when the bed is closer to the outer circle, the pole will be nearer to the center. When the bed is closer to the center, the pole will be closer to the outer circle. Okay, so I'll write it here. If bed closer to outer circle, the pole will be closer to center. Okay, if bed is closer to center, then pole will be close to outer circle. Okay, okay. So if bed is close to outer circle, the pole is close to center. If the bed is close to center, the pole will be close to outer circle. So now let's come to the question. So here there are three poles, 1, 2 and 3, there are poles. Okay, if one is close to center, that means its bed will be gentler like this. Its bed will be gentler like this. And 3 is close to outer circle. 3 is close to outer circle, so the pole might be like this. Sorry, the plane might be like this, right? So this is plane 3. This is plane 1. Why? 1 is close to center, so plane 1 will be close to outer circle. 3 is close to outer circle, so the plane will be close to center. 2 will be intermediate. 2 will be intermediate. So it is asking what? So what it is asking? It is asking that find the correct order of increasing deep of beds. Find the correct order of increasing deep of beds. Okay. So the correct order is what? P1 is lesser than P2 is lesser than P3. Okay, this is the order. P1 is lesser than P2 lesser than P3. Plane 1 is having lesser dip, plane 2 is having greater dip than P1, and P3 is having highest dip, right, among the three. So accordingly, if you write the poles, 1 less than 2 less than 3, right? 1 is your pole number 1. This is the pole number 1. Okay, if you are taking 1 as plane, then 1 is higher, 1 deep is higher. If you take 1 as a plane, then this will be close to 90 degree because it is close to center. In that case 3 will be lower. Okay, but here these are not planes, these are poles. Okay, so this is a very easy question, but it is given here just to confuse. Okay, so the correct answer is 1, 2, 3. So the correct answer is this one. Okay, but some people may write like 3, 2, 1. Okay, some people may write like 3, 2, 1, which is completely wrong. Okay, it is 1, 2, 3. Okay, because these are poles. Okay, I hope all of you got this. Then moving to next question. So the third question is, you can see this question, the given stereo plot of the axial plane and axis of a fold. That means here axial plane is given and fold axis is given, and it is asked what type of fold is it. Okay, it is a question from GATE 2020 current year question. Okay, so here it is given that the axial plane is marked here. The axial plane is marked here. That means what? The outer circle is axial plane. The outer circle is axial plane. That means axial plane is horizontal. Axial plane is horizontal. Fold axis, it is also marked in outer circle. Fold axis is also marked in outer circle. So axis is also horizontal. So when axis is horizontal, axial plane is horizontal. It is like this. Right? This is like this. This is the axis, and okay, this is the fold. The axis is horizontal and the plane is also horizontal. Okay, so this is axial plane horizontal, this is horizontal. So it is recumbent fold. Answer is D. So it is also easy. You can see here the axial plane is this one. This one is the axial plane which is passing through the center. The line is passing through the center. So it is vertical. Axial plane is vertical. And hinge line is marked on the outer circle. Hinge line is marked on the outer circle. So it is horizontal. Hinge line is horizontal, axial plane is vertical. Okay, so it will be like this, right? It will be like this. Here the axial plane is this one, is vertical, right? And axis is horizontal. Here it is axis is horizontal, axial plane is vertical. So it is a normal fold. It is a normal fold. Okay, so which option? Upright plunging? No. Upright means what? Upright means normal. Upright means normal. Okay, but it is plunging. Here it is given plunging. So the hinge line is at 0 degree. The plunge is horizontal means what? Plunge is 0 degree. That means non-plunging. So it is not the answer. Upright non-plunging. It is the answer. It cannot be recumbent because axial plane is vertical here. It cannot be reclined because the axis is not, or the hinge line is not plunging in a direction of true dip. Okay, there is a different question on reclined fold. I'll come to that. So I hope all of you got this answer. This is option B, upright non-plunging. Why? The axial plane is vertical and the axis is horizontal. Okay, this is a numerical question from 2015 JAM. Okay, so it is asked what is the plunge amount of fold axis. What is the plunge amount of fold axis? You can see this is the axial plane. This is the axial plane which is passing through the center. So it is vertical. Axial plane is passing through the center means what? It is vertical. It is bedding plane. This bedding plane is what? It is a limb. It is a limb of the fold, right? So if this is the axis, this is a limb, right? This is a limb. So this limb, this part is plotted here. There will be another limb like this, right? So this is limb 1, let's say. This is limb 2. Axial plane is here. This is the axial plane. It is passing through the center means it is a vertical. Axial plane is vertical. Limb 1 is here. Limb 2 will be like this. This is limb 2. This is limb 1. This is limb 2. So where is the axis? This is this one. Axis or hinge line. Axis or hinge line. I have also mentioned what is the difference between axis and hinge line in a video. You can watch that. So I am not going to elaborate it again here. So we can see this is the hinge line or axis. Most of the time we are using axis or hinge line, though they are not same, but they are parallel. Axis and hinge line, fold axis and hinge line, they are not same, but they are parallel in case of cylindrical fold. In case of cylindrical fold, normal cylindrical folds. Okay, so here you can see this is the hinge line or axis. Okay, the axial plane is vertical and here it is the axis. So we can represent axis at the end, because when the plane is reduced to line in stereo plots, right? In the stereo plot, what is it? It is a line. This one is a line. This grid circle is a line which is representing a plane. So when we plot line, it will become a point. Okay, so it is these points, these 2 points. These 2 points, they will represent what? A axis or hinge line. That will represent a axis or hinge line, which is present on the outer circle. This is present on the outer circle, right? This is present on the outer circle. So it is horizontal. Axis is horizontal. Okay, it is a normal fold. Here it is the limb 1, here it is the limb 2, and this is the axial plane passing through the center, which is vertical, and the axis, it is marked here. So it is horizontal. Horizontal means what? The plunge is 0 degree. Plunge is 0 degree. So here plunge of the fold axis is 0 degree. Okay, so this is a question from JAM 18. Question from 18. You can see. So here it is asking the orientation of the fold axis and axial plane is given. Fold axis and axial plane is given. So which type of fold is this? So this is the axial plane. This is the axial plane. If it is a perionate center, this is the plane. If this is the plane, then this will be the strike. This is the strike. That means it is the strike of axial plane, and this is the dip direction, this is the true dip direction, right? So it is the true dip direction of axial plane, right? When we plot a plane in StereoNet, this is the plane, this is the plane, this is its strike, and this is the true dip direction. Okay, so here it is a point, here it is a point, which is, point means what? Here in StereoNet, the point is representing a line which is fold axis, right? In StereoNet, the point is representing a line, and in StereoNet, the line will represent a plane. Okay, so here axial plane is there, it is the strike, it is the true dip direction, and here it is the fold axis. The fold axis is present, fold axis is present in the true dip direction, in the true dip direction of axial plane, in the true dip direction of axial plane. So how to measure the this is the direction part, it is the direction part, and you can mark another thing, this is the deep amount of the plane, this is the deep amount of the plane. Okay, how can you calculate the deep? You have to measure this one. How can you measure the plunge of this line? You have to measure this length. So this is plunge of fold axis, right? This length is representing deep of axial plane. This length is representing plunge of fold axis, which is same. Okay, because that is common segment, right? This segment is giving the amount of deep of axial plane as well as giving the plunge of the fold axis, right? So the true dip of axial plane is equal to plunge of fold axis. So these two cases, fold axis is in the direction of true dip direction of axial plane, and fold axis is plunging at same angle like your true dip, right? So this is a case of reclined fold. This is a case of reclined fold. Okay, the definition of reclined fold is the fold axis plunges in the direction of axial plane. The plunge of the fold axis is same as true dip of the axial plane, right? The fold is like this. If this is the plane, this is the plane, right? Here it is the strike, and dip direction is, here it is the strike direction, and it is the dip direction, right? So if I draw a line like this is the fold, right? This is the fold. Okay, so here you can see the hinge line or the fold axis here. It is the fold axis. The fold axis or the hinge line is, it is in a direction of true dip of the axial plane. It is in a direction of true dip of the axial plane. Okay, so the true dip of the axial plane will be equal to plunge of the hinge line or plunge of the fold axis. So it is reclined fold. The answer is reclined fold. Okay, so here it is a last question on fault plane movement. Okay, so this is from JAM 16. The fault for which orientation of displacement vector, orientation of the fault plane and displacement vector is given in the projection here. Okay, so here it is the fault plane, here it is the fault plane, and here it is the displacement vector. Displacement vector is horizontal. It is marked on the outer circle, means what? It is horizontal. That means the vector due to which there is displacement in the plane. So if this is the fault plane, if this is the fault plane, that movement is like this, the movement is like this, right, because it is horizontal. Okay, if this is the fault plane, the movement is like this, which is horizontal. That means in another way also you can approach, it is the strike of the fault plane, right? It is the strike of the fault plane. This one is the strike of the fault plane. So the movement is parallel to strike of the fault plane. The movement or the displacement vector means what? The vector or the force is representing the force due to which there is movement. Okay, there is movement along the fault plane. Okay, so the force or the displacement vector which is horizontal or parallel to strike of the fault plane. This is the strike of the fault plane. So the movement is like this. So if there will be a block like this, another block is like this, right? So the movement is like this. Okay, so this is a strike slip fault. This is a strike slip fault. This is not vertical. Why it is not vertical? The plane is inclined. You can see this is the slip amount. It is not a thrust fault. It is not a normal fault. It is a strike slip fault because the displacement vector is parallel to strike. Okay, this is the strike slip fault. Okay, so I hope all of you understood all the questions. I have included, I have 6 questions here. So I'll upload the next questions on net. Okay, I'll upload the stereographic questions on net because in net there will be concepts of superposed folding and all, and also beta pi diagrams are there. So I'll upload that in a separate video. Okay, so I hope all of you got everything. If you are not getting, if you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. So thank you all.